What's going on, people? What's going on? Welcome to In Love with Kimberly Michael on SavageComp.entertainment. Probably the dopest channel around, just so you know. If you don't know yet, you will know eventually. So anyway, I'm just sharing the show a little bit. Shout out to Jim Savage. He did me a commercial today. It's dope as fuck. So I'm super excited about it. Anyway, shout out to him. For doing all the hard work. I just show up. So that's kind of cool for me. And anyway, so tonight's show, let's get into it. Oh, you know what I'm going to say, you guys, right? Subscribe, like, comment, share the shit out the show. Just share the shit out of it. It takes 2 seconds. Make sure you hit the like though, which is a thumbs up, which is, I don't care for that. It would be great if there was a way to change that, but I'm sure there's not. Nonetheless, like I said, I'm sharing the show, but I'm also, I got to pull up. So once again, Facebook has not let me down. There was so much to pick from. I probably sent Jay 2 topics today, but here's what I'm talking about tonight, you guys. So, this is somebody that I follows me, whatever. We're on each other's Facebook page. That's all I know. And he said he's always posting something. I've talked about his stuff before. He said, ladies, do you ever want to meet that special man and be like, I'm a respectfully shut the fuck up for him? You want to sit back and let him lead with his biblical masculinity while you thrive in your biblical femininity, a teachable moment from the naked truth. I guess I can say his stuff out loud. He's public. I mean, he wants people to come on his. Now, look, somebody said he's just trying to be, he's like deliberately provoking. Hey, everybody. Oh, I can't see the comments. Hold on. Let me get to the comments. Hey, K Boogie. Hey, Silky. Hey, Manhood. What's going on, y'all? Thanks for showing up. I appreciate y'all. So I want to, this is the kind of stuff that women feed off of. And this is a man saying this, right? So I'm not going to speak on the man, going to speak on me. I'm the woman. But this is the shit that women feed off of. This is the shit they want men to say. I can't even tell you like how, to me, this whole statement is a contradiction. This whole statement is a contradiction. First of all, I'm not saying we don't need to sit down and shut the fuck up. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is to say that we as women need to sit down and shut the fuck up, and then to, in the same sentence, say that there is biblical masculinity and and biblical femininity. Does that mean I'm not feminine because I don't pull from a biblical sense and I don't move in a biblical way? Does that mean that I have a different feminine energy than a Christian woman? Does that mean that this and women are gonna bounce back and snap back at him with the shut the fuck up, and they're gonna show and prove about the shutting the fuck up? How do we as women allow you to lead us or whatever words you want to put into allow. I don't like the word allow. It's one of those words I want to look up right now, but I'm not going to. I'm just trying to figure out how we supposed to shut the fuck up when you telling us to shut the fuck up, or implying that we should tell ourselves to shut the fuck up, because really this is like a toxic statement to me. This is what do they call it, passive aggressive, like is that the right word? I don't know if that's the right word, but hey Blazer, hey. I don't even know what to say about this whole thing. Like this whole thing, I've read it so many times. We as women, especially the ones who choose to seek the feminine side of them and choose to practice to be in their feminine energy and choose to do the work that it takes to get in your feminine energy when you haven't been in your feminine energy, that choose to heal from whatever energy that they have. This is like a setback to say you as a woman need to sit down and shut the fuck up. Submission and femininity is not obligatory. There's not obligation in that. We're not obligated to do anything. The women who choose to be in their feminine energy for the men choose that out of honor and adoration and respect. We are not choosing that because you are obligating us to do so. Twisted words and that sort of thing. It is not, it's hard enough to get through to women nowadays, where most of us are borderline. And I say, I definitely have narcissistic tendencies. I've said that before. Everybody knows I'm transparent here. A lot of women are narcissists. A lot of women are unreceptive. They're unteachable. And then we put these type of narratives out here. You need to tell yourself to sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. No, I do not need to do that. What I need is for me to find my own feminine energy so that my submission and my release of the masculine energy back to the man that I'm with puts me in my best possible place to be the best possible person for a man, and vice versa. We as women, and I say this all the time, we're not receptive, we're not teachable. I watch women all the time ask questions of men and then turn right around and argue the point that the men are, the question that they've asked the man, the answer that they're arguing with. I don't know how many, Jay, I don't know how many, I know he gets tired of me. I mean, some days, 5 or 6 times a day, I'm shooting him a text. I'm shooting him a screenshot of the shit that I see that we as women are doing. And I say this all the time. We as women, we are the ones that have to take accountability for ourselves. At the end of the day, all this men bashing and shit talking about men ain't this and ain't that. And at the end of the day, the fact that we're even opening up our mouths and projecting that type of energy onto them just by saying they ain't shit is proof in case that we are not ready to receive a man as a man in the first place. Because that's not where our energy should be at. I'm focused on what a man I chose ain't doing. Can we make that one make sense? You chose him. Y'all chose each other. So if you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, or he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing, right? That doesn't have anything to do with us as women. Don't choose him. We need to stand. We need to stand up in our accountability at this point. We need to hold ourselves accountable for our own shit. We are getting completely out of hand. And on the men's side, ain't helping by pushing these type of narratives out there, by putting these type of, we need to sit down and shut the fuck up. especially in the way that he did it. Like, ladies, don't you tell yourself. Like, we don't know what that, like, we don't know what that type of manipulation looks like. Like, we ain't professional manipulators ourselves. You know what I'm saying? You know what? Have you ever heard the statement that if you meet somebody, I think it's a whole thing, that if you meet somebody, if you if you meet, I'm gonna read what K Boogie wrote in a second. Actually, I'm going to read it now because I forgot what I was going. She said, "Hopefully, whoever wrote that is walking in his complete manhood. Only a grown within man could get me to shut the fuck up. Only a grown." I know she's gonna fix that. I couldn't swap the words. Only a grown within man could get me to shut the fuck up. Yeah. So I'm gonna say this. I don't want to be in a place personally where a man has to even tell me to shut the fuck up. Like, I don't even want to carry that energy into a relationship where I ever think for a second but that's just me. Y'all know how I feel about love and relationships and peaceful relationships and happy relationships and joyful relationships and joyous relationships. So that's definitely me, but I don't even want to carry the energy in. I clear my throat chakra every Sunday and Tuesday night. I clear my throat chakra on my Facebook page. I call Gilly, which I don't know where she's at, but I call Gilly and I clear my throat chakra with her. Even if I have to scream and kick and cry in the car. I told y'all that story a couple weeks ago. Even if I have to go that route, even if I'm kicking and screaming and whatever, but I'm clearing my throat chakra with her, with my daughter. We do an immense amount of talking and healing and practicing, and we don't see eye to eye on certain subjects in reference to relationships and men and women, and that's fine. We don't argue about it. She knows how I feel. I know how she feels. It is what it is, right? I say grown within because men can be grown, but ain't nothing but a big boy outside. So that's what K Boogie was clarifying what she was saying. So apologetic method. So he has to be in a complete manhood. That's shaming tactics. Is it shaming tactics? I mean, is it? I don't know. Let me think about that one. That's a shaming tactic. I think that the requirement that we as women and men have for the other person, that they have to be a certain thing for us to be a certain thing, is fucking ludicrous in the first place. Like, you as a man shouldn't have to be anything for me to be a woman. You as a man shouldn't have to be anything for me to show up in my feminine energy as a feminine woman. Period. Period. I'm not a fan of saying when a man shows up that does this and a man shows up that does this, then I will become and I will. That's, I think, utter and complete nonsense. And for all the women out here that are masculine as shit, and you know who you are, and you're running around doing masculine shit, you're not going to get up. And I'm not judging you, I'm just saying, you're not going to get up and just be feminine tomorrow because a certain type of man showed up. That's actually a screenshot. I guarantee you, Jay would tell me that I'm right. I sent him something similar to that. That there was something I saw that I wanted to talk about. I think it was like a different type of man brings out a different type of woman. No, that's not what happens. That's not what happens. What happens is we choose out of our brokenness until we decide that we're going to heal and choose out of our healing. We that's what's happening. It doesn't have anything to do with the man or a woman. It has to do with the person you might be that you're intended to be with. It's not just about these random ass people that you're just practicing with, you're just learning from, you're just growing with, or you're evolving or devolving with. No, I don't need a certain man to be a certain way for me to show up in my, because it's my objective, it's my goal, it's what I practice, it's what I train for, if you will. It's what I prepare myself for, to be a feminine woman. There's a certain idea I have about the woman that I want to be, that I choose to be. I get to pick what kind of woman I am. Y'all don't get to pick that. Not man or woman, not my children, not my parents, not anybody. That's Nobody gets to tell me what type of woman I want to be. Nobody gets to tell me what type of woman I am or am not. I decide. And I have decided that there is certain characteristics and certain things as far as femininity goes that I choose to be based on my own choices, is what I'm manifesting. So manhood, that's a bunch of excuses not to be feminine. What's a bunch of excuses not to be feminine? Well, what I'm saying about a man needs to whatever. It's not many men in this westernized society that's completely in his manhood. Um, I don't know. I think that we're not giving credit to them. We're not speaking about them. Um, we're not uplifting them and encouraging them, and we're not celebrating them in any way, shape, or form. I mean, we're more concerned about celebrating guys with beards and suits, than we are, um, and or the other extreme, half naked men. And listen, nothing against either one of them. I have no problem with half naked men, and I certainly have no problem with a bearded man in a fucking suit. I'm all about it. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is that, um, there's so much more to a man than what's being presented and has been presented to us, and there's so much more to a woman that has been presented to us. But we just keep eating this shit up. They throw it out there, we're eating it up. They're twerking, then we're on the twerk band. They're doing this dance, then we're on that. If they're half naked doing this, then we're on that bagging too, on that bandwagon too. Sorry, I'm trying to stay up with the comments because they usually get crazy and great. I'm saying for me to shut up for him, I can't shut up to learn, observe, and like Kim saying, I can choose. But let's be grown-ups to make a woman shut up. You better come correct. Kim saying, I can choose, but let's be grown-ups to make a woman shut up. You better come correct. Yeah, I mean, I'm still with the premise that I don't want to be in a position that I have to shut up. I know that there are women that are women that are like that. That are women that are like that. Um, that they don't want. They need to kind of be handled, I guess. I mean, I guess I don't know. I don't agree with that thing. Now I'm not disagreeing with K Boogie. I'm saying I don't agree just with what I was saying. Like I don't agree that there are actual, um, men and women. I just don't want to be presented that way. I don't want to be presented to a man in a way that he ever has to think that one day he's gonna have to tell me to shut the fuck up or sit the fuck down or get me to be quiet. Because how about we change the verbiage? Y'all know how I feel about words. How about we change the verbiage, right? Let's change the verbiage. How about instead of us saying, um, that we need to sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up, how about we just say that we become teachable and receptive? Because you can't be teachable or receptive if you're running your fucking mouth and you ain't listening, right? Men will always have to say that. Blazer, boo, hiss, boo, hiss, boo, hiss. That is no, not the case. That's not the case. They won't always have to say it. Um, there's plenty of women that are a prime example, a prime example of that. There are good women just like they're good men. The problem is that we're being shown exactly what it's intended for us to be shown. We haven't stopped yet. Well, I'm as we're talking and as I'm talking and I'm trying to read the things, the comments. I'm trying to remember if I've ever really had any man in my life that talked to me that way. And I'm excluding my ex. So 6 years. Let's just do 6 years, just because I'm a different. Hi, Shauna, because y'all keep messing with those type of women. Blazer, go to sleep. Y'all are funny. Um, But it's true. We all do it. That's the problem. We all keep messing with the same type of people and the same type of women and the same type of men. We keep choosing them over and over again. And we don't rectify. All we do is make ourselves aware. Like, oh, okay, so I'm aware I'm doing it now. And we move on to the next broken person, right? Oh, I'm aware. I know I'm doing that. I mean, that's the farthest that we get. At what point do you address the pain or the trauma or whatever happened to you that got you to a place where you feel so insignificant that you would repeatedly choose the same type of person over and over again? What is drawing you to that person? Oh, this was I was going to tell y'all earlier. You know how they say you meet somebody, and if they strike a nerve with you or they cause you to feel some type of angst, like angry or upset or whatever, that there's something in that person that you see about yourself, and that's why you become upset or angry. I was going to say I think it has something to do with Buddhism, but I could be wrong. Honestly, do you feel that a lot of women act out too much to the point that you want to tell them to? Honestly, do you feel that a lot of women, why are you Zing? Why are you Zing, Blazer? And tell them to what? Tell them to what? So anyway, here's my point. My point is that we do this all day long. Men run into women and women run into men, and then we have these conversations, and then the man totally pisses the woman off, or the woman totally pisses the man off, and then they're mad. Why do you think that is? It's not about a different agreement, it's not about a disagreement, right? Because men and women are truly just like if you met someone that got under your skin. You need to address the behavior that's annoying you. There's a reason that they're annoying you, right? There's a reason that a woman is annoyed or aggravated or upset or mad behind what a man is saying to her. He's touched a nerve. He says she don't fucking like it. And I think I told this story. I wish Bruce was here too. Let me share the show with Bruce. I don't think I shared it with him. I said this the other day. Act out. Do I think women act out? Boogie told me to go to sleep. Oh. Okay, Blazer, you're gonna have to say the whole comment. The honestly, do you feel a lot of women, blah, 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 act out too much to the point that you want to tell them to? I don't know. I'm not honestly around women like that, to be honest with you. I don't, I'm around some women at the bar. I mostly watch from a distance, if I can be honest. You know what I mean? I listen to people that are walking by me, not to their conversation, just how they engage, how they talk to each other. You know, I mean, because especially women, we are just openly brutal at this point. We just will say anything to anybody, we'll speak any kind of way to our man in public. I mean, listen, I'm not a fan of my 20-year relationship. Not a fan of his either. But the one thing that well, until the end, but I'm talking about the very end, the last year. But up until then, you never, ever would see us disagree or talk to each other any kind of way in public. I don't give a shit if we got home and tussled. When we were out in public, we didn't talk to each other no kind of way. We just didn't do that. I didn't raise my voice at him. He didn't raise his voice at me. I don't care if we were completely pissed off. Both of us kept quiet and stayed respectful to each other until we got home. And then we would have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays, so again, let me be clear. I'm not around a lot of women in general. I'm around my daughter. I know how she acts. And mostly mine is me observing and watching. and the women that I have run across and the women that I talk to. And I talk to a lot of women. I do talk to a lot of women. I'm just not around them. I'm not in their presence all the time, but I do talk to a shit ton of women. And most of a lot, it's kind of half and half, to be honest with you. Half the women agree with me, half the women don't agree with me. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not all the way half and half. Maybe it's less than that. But there are a lot of women that agree with a lot of things about me. Yes. Sorry, Jay. For everybody who's listening and watching, whether it's now and or a pre-recorded or a post-recording, it doesn't matter. Subscribe, like, and share the shit out of the show. Y'all are already commenting. But subscribe definitely, but you got to hit the like button. Even if you're here and you don't know it, you got to hit the like button that you're here, because showing up and hitting like, both of them are equally important. So make sure you do all of those things. Definitely. Shauna, it don't work that way. What'd Shauna say? Defend in public, correct in private. Defend in public, correct in private. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I want to think about that one too. I was thinking about another comment too that was made. But I'm not going to go back right this second, but I might go back later. But I want to say, because I kind of feel like this is, let me read this other one real quick that I sent Jay today as well too. I said, I love bullshit statements. That's what I said. So it must have been good. I mean, we're just going to split. I can do what I want. It's my show. Jay told me that a long time ago. I can say whatever words I want to. I can do whatever I want to do. And so I want to talk about the other narrative too. Because again, this is a man saying this shit like I don't even know if he understands what he's doing. I don't know if men understand what they're doing when they do this, right? The reality, it depends on the circumstances. It depends on the person. Oh, you talking about the public shit, about doing shit in public? No, we ain't acting up in public. I'm not talking to my person any kind of way in public. I'm not doing that. I don't care how upset or whatever that we are. I'm not doing that at all. So, so the other post that I sent Jay today, I sent him both. I think both of these I sent today are: ladies have to learn to demand marriage or walk away. Let me tell you something about this narrative right here, about this nonsense right here. Let me read it again, okay? Ladies have to learn to demand marriage or walk away. Do you know what this leads to? These kind of comments. A woman being like this, motherfucker, if you don't marry me, see, it just promotes the attitude. It promotes all this shit. It instigates all of it. I mean, for real. If you were saying to the ladies that we have to demand marriage, why would we as women demand marriage or walk away? You are literally saying to a woman, act up, demand this, demand that. I mean, next thing you know, it's like give them an ultimatum. Now we have ultimatums. Now we have demands. But let a man say to us, and these women are jumping on the bandwagon on him. I agree with so many of your. They eating his ass up. The women love it, and maybe that's his plan. Maybe it's a marketing thing, right? Maybe that's what he's doing because that's who he wants to attract. Yes, that's too extreme. I'm talking about being a logic thinking adult. The reality. Okay, let me read some of the comments because. So the reality is that it depends on the circumstances. That was what Manhood said. Shauna said, under what circumstances should you embarrass your partner or yourself in a public setting? Manhood said, yes, that's too extreme. I'm talking about being a logical, I'm assuming thinking adults, logical thinking adults. Silky Savage is running the other way. Well, I don't think I'm with Shauna. I don't think there's any reason to say anything to anybody. I'm talking about to each other. I'm not. Now look, let me say this. Oh, let me say the thing that I'm just gonna say this. I don't know if I've said this before or whatever, And, it don't make me no difference one way or the other if you like what I say or not. Everybody knows your perception of me is not my responsibility. But baby, um, Will is my kind of man. I'm sorry, but if you talking shit about me, I mean, I'm not saying you got to slap the shit out of nobody, but if you have to, you have to. Like, I'm not even mad about what happened. Everybody's so like, oh, ooh, whatever. But all we scream is protect us, protect us, protect us. Who gives a shit of the circumstances? Y'all ain't about to tell me if some dude that you did or did not know started ragging on your chick in public after after she done, emasculated you and humiliated you and all of those things, and he's still defending her honor. Like, man, y'all better give that man his props. Okay, he probably shouldn't have slapped the shit out of him, but he did. And what do you, I said this last week on the show, what do y'all want? What do women want? Do you want him to be a provider and a protector, or do you want him to be a punk ass dude? Like, which one do you want? You want him to protect you under which circumstances? So do you have a list? I mean, what's next? Okay, I need you to show up masculine in this situation, but in this situation, I don't. And I need you to be this man in this situation, but not this man in that one. We cannot pick apart a man and put him piece by piece back together to suit us. We need to sit our asses down, find a way to heal what is fucking broken. And as a matter of fact, we need to address what is broken and take responsibility for whatever behavior we had because of that brokenness, and then fix it, not just say we have it. We can't, we are the only ones. We as women are the only ones who can change our own behavior. A man is not going to do it. We ain't making demands and ultimatums, and we have this conversation, and Gilly she thinks ultimatums are okay. Nonsense. And she knows how I feel about it. I'm not giving anybody an ultimatum. If I'm at the point where I even have to have a conversation about an ultimatum, I'm fucking out. I'm not giving you an ultimatum. I'm not giving you any demand. If you don't want to marry me in a certain amount of time, then I'm not the girl for you, and we can move on. It's really fucking simple. You don't have to do what I tell you to do. You don't have to be who I tell you to be. Just show the fuck up with your true authentic self, and let me determine if I want to be around your true authentic self, because there will be at least one woman that wants to be. And poly's all over the place, so there's multiple women that want to be with one man and multiple men that want to be with one woman. Which means, again, slow down, take your time, heal your shit, be responsible for what you've already done, and stop acting as if we're in charge of shit, as if we can tell a man what to do and how to be. Like, I have no desire to do that. I have no desire to tell a man who to be and what to be and how to be it, and demand him things and give him ultimatums and do all those things. Why would I do that? I don't know about y'all. I never told my kids what to do once they hit a certain age. I never said, you need to leave him. You need to not do this. You need to not do that. No. You know why? Because they know what's right and what's wrong. I'm not about to do that to a man either. They are grown adults, and they have to make their own decision. They have to be exactly who they need to be. And my mom used to call me all the time when they were they're still in their 20s, all of them, but they're moving up the 20s closer to 30s. And my mom used to call me all the time and be like, oh, you need to do blah, 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 and you need to tell him. I said, I ain't telling him nothing. Because first of all, when I was 21, 22, 23, even now, same thing, but I'm just making a point. My parents couldn't tell me shit. They couldn't tell me a damn thing that I was going to, like, oh, you know what? My mom and dad are really right. I'm going to do exactly what fuck that shit. Nobody does that. You think you're going to tell a man to do something and he's going to fucking do it? And if he does, then that's you and that's y'all relationship, and that he's that kind of man and you're that kind of woman, then more power to you, baby. All I'm saying is I'm not that type of woman. I'm not the type of woman that's going to be doing that kind of shit. I'm not telling him shit. You either are or you aren't. You either want to marry me or you don't. I'm not negotiating shit. I'm not demanding anything. We're not talking about an ultimatum. We're not having a conversation. You know if you want to marry me. Men know if they want to marry women. What are we talking about? What conversations are we having with each other? For what? I'm upfront and honest. I'm looking for marriage. I don't like the word looking. I'm not looking. I'm preparing myself to be married, to be a married woman. That's not a secret either. I'm preparing. I've been preparing myself to be a married woman, a feminine, receptive, teachable, wise woman for a man who fits me perfectly. That's it. Not one I have to mold and talk to and have conversations with and do those type of things. Now look, we all healing, we all evolving, right? I'm not saying a man can't show up to me and be like, "Hey, ABC, this is where I'm at in my process. This is where the healing is. I may have this type of behavior. Are you willing to challenge me?" Those are healthy relationship conversations. That's something we can have a conversation about. That's something I can determine if I'm at a place in my life where I'm willing to, accept that, right? Because at one point we are all going to or should evolve, unless we devolve, but if evolve, we're all going to be in relationships where the other person has different ideas, changes their ways, maybe changes the way they dress or the way they look, and you have to really appreciate the person for who they are at the core of their being, and know them well enough to know that's always who they're going to be. This shit that we're doing, this nonsense, the way that we acting and all this, and then we mad because men don't act right. I mean, for what reason? What will be their, I don't know. I don't want to say reward because that doesn't, what would be their gift? What would be their blessing? I had a show about, are you the type of woman that a man would pray for? Are you? Are you really? Are you really truly the type of woman that a man would pray for? Would a man, can you look at yourself and say, I could see a man praying for me. I'm that type of woman that a man would definitely pray for, or pray to come into their life, right? If you think about it, if I think about it, well, of course, then I think about a praying man and then I go to Christianity, and that's a whole nother show. But if I think about it in the sense that a man is speaking to his creator and asking him for a woman, right? Um, am I the type of woman that he would be asking his creator to bring to him? Do I have, am I healed and whole? Or am I funky and got an attitude and want to blame everything on my past and want to blame everything on every dude I've ever been with? How is it every dude? Everybody here is broken up with people, and people have broken up with them. And nowadays, with all the internet shit, if y'all ain't been married for 20 plus years and you out here, y'all know how it is. Y'all ain't gonna say you don't talk chit chat with men and women and blah blah blah. You go through a handful of people at least conversating with them. So we know, you know that you running across the same dudes. You running across the same chicks. That's something you need to address. You let your friends keep telling you. My friends tell me all the time, they don't know why I'm single. They don't know why this, but yet I come back home and I then try to determine, why am I still single? Why am I still in this position, right? And is it me? Is it really me? Am I doing something? Or, is it the men? Are they doing something? Or is it that I just haven't found my person? I mean, why can't we just say that? I haven't found the person for me, so I'm not going to connect with this dude. This dude wasn't supposed to be right for me. We weren't supposed to engage like that. You know what I'm saying? But we make every man that don't fit what we want for them as women the enemy, and now we're a victim. They hurt us. They did this. They did that. They didn't do what I wanted them to do. He was doing this and he was doing that. And I'm talking about stuff besides the cheating. Everything's not boiled down to cheating. You know, women, ask for a lot of shit as far as I can tell and as far as I can see. I have, everybody knows I have a lot of male friends, and they talk to me about, if they're single and engagement, or if they're married, happily married or otherwise. I have friends all along the spectrum, male friends all along the spectrum. And, they don't have no reason to lie to me. I'm not vested in them. They're not vested in me. We're literally just friends. We're acquainted. And some of the demands, some of the things that some of the men say. Now, some of them have wonderful wives and they're beautiful and can't say enough good shit about them. Bruce is one of them. He talks very highly about his wife. And I get the same thing. And yeah, a lot. And I don't know what I was saying. Again, I've had a rough week, you guys. Literally, I am exhausted. I went to bed the other night at 8:30 and woke up at 6:30. I slept for 10 hours. I just could, that was Sunday night. As a matter of fact, I didn't even do my Sunday night podcast because I couldn't even. So, and for y'all who don't know, but I think everybody that's on here right now that I can see anyway, that's typing in the chat, y'all can all call in. Jay can put the link in. Anybody can call in and have a conversation. You guys are welcome to join the show and talk about shit. And while I'm pausing and getting my thoughts back together, hit the subscribe, like, and share the shit out the show, please. There's the link if you want to come on and have a conversation, especially my people who just be in the chat, which is fine. I'm not hating on you guys because I appreciate y'all for showing up. Hit the link, subscribe and like and share. I say comment too, but I don't know why. I don't know if I just added that in. I probably just did that. And it's funny, and Jay can vouch for this. I practice with men. Right. And Jay I think initially when I would do something and say something to Jay, he would think I was kidding because I would be like, oh, I remember he said something to me. I wish I could remember what it was. Maybe he'll remember. But he said something to me, and it was on one of my shows. I remember it was on my Sunday night show, and some jackass came on, and he was just rude as shit. And I'm sure he was a troll. But he just kept on and kept on. And for the longest time, I didn't really say anything. And Jay said to me, don't say anything to him. And I said, okay, I won't. And then I fucked around and said something to him, right? And I'm not saying it ended badly, but to me, it was situational. It was a situation where, for me, a growth situation where I could have just listened to Jay and honored his word as my producer, as my friend, as my associate. And it was a good practice moment for me. And I failed. It wasn't that it ended badly or anything. It was just about the act of Jay saying, hey, as a man, thinking logically, hey, don't do this. But I practice on my male friends quite a bit. Like, that's not the only instance, but that's the one I remember. And, it takes back to what, the original show started about these biblical masculinity and biblical femininity and us shutting the fuck up and the words that we use. It's just not that easy. You just don't show up and do something. It's just like everything else. Like, you're not going to be overweight and decide you're going to lose weight and go outside the next day with your tennis shoes on and your shorts and go run 5 miles. You have to train yourself to run if you are not a runner. Us women need to start training ourselves to be who we say we want to be for the men that we say we want to be with. Because we say we want a certain type of man, but we're not receptive to that person. We're not receptive to that type of man. We say we want these certain things in them, but we're not fucking teachable. Right? We aren't listening. We aren't being receptive. We aren't comprehending. We're not allowing them to do what they came here to do. And on top of us not allowing them to do what they came to do, we can't even do what we came here to do. And then we wonder why we're not getting along with each other. We wonder why I got a whole fucking show about women and accountability, because women don't want to fucking act right. Right? Not all women. I'm not talking about all women, but I'm talking about the women that don't act right. I'm talking about the women that don't act right, that got enough sense to listen and engage and have conversations, whether you like me or whether you don't. Women, if we can't be receptive to a man, we can't be receptive to each other. You know, your girl can't tell you shit either. Again, not all of us, some of us. Me, you know, I have relationships where my friends and my C's included, they tell me they need to challenge me. That's part of their job, is to challenge me. Don't just be all willy-nilly out here. Go, Kim, be my biggest cheerleader, and I'm, you know, I'm not even following the fucking rules. Ain't got no act right. Who don't? Silky ain't got no act right. A lot of women don't have no act right, and they don't even know where to go get none. But then they feed off this kind of shit that these men say. That's what, I should have. Y'all, stop. Like, for whatever reason you're doing it. Silky, yes. Stop. Like, why don't provoke the women to this behavior? Because as soon as a woman here shut the fuck up, we bow up. The fuck are you talking to? I know you ain't. You already know. Even if we don't say shit, even if we were trained enough in ourselves and put in a place, that we would not. We still at least gonna bow up. We still gonna at least bow up at the bare minimum. You know what I'm saying? Because you just ain't gonna. Nobody should. But the end of the day, what the fuck is the woman saying that the man even feels the need to tell her to shut the fuck up? Because you just don't say shut the fuck up for no reason. It's not like you just like, hey, calm down. Hey, be quiet. Let me talk to you. Let me tell you something. If you at the point where you telling a woman to shut the fuck up, my question is, what the fuck is she doing? I'm probably gonna get a lot of pushback for that shit, because when I used to, I don't speak to other people a lot about my relationship, but I used to say, I came from an abusive relationship. At the most, that's what I'll say now, or dehumanizing is what I say, to kind of avoid the whole conversation about why did you say and what happened and blah, 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 and boo, boo, boo. But, I've had men actually say to me, what did you do? Like, I had one guy say to me in the sweetest way ever, but he still said, what did I do? He said, I cannot imagine knowing you and that anybody, he said, I can't imagine you doing anything to provoke a man to do something like that. Like, you're so sweet and da da da. I eat that shit up, so y'all know. But he said, I can't imagine you doing something that would provoke a man. Like, he didn't say, what did I do? He just insinuated I was just so freaking sweet that, he can't imagine somebody doing that. People that have toxic behavior do not do shit to you because you did something to them. That's not how it works, right? But in this case, I'm saying, if a man is at the point where he's telling a woman to shut the fuck up, what is she doing? If she's at a place where she got to tell herself to shut the fuck up, what is she doing? What are we doing? Come on, y'all. What are we doing? For real. Because we just can't keep doing it. Like every other show out there is about toxicity and men and or women, and how the other one needs to do something. And none of us are talking about what we just need to do as women, as women, as men. Y'all, that's on y'all got to figure that shit out on your own. I ain't got no words for you, right? Because y'all know, y'all have access, y'all have other men. Hopefully there are other men that are telling y'all to get some act right too. You know what I'm saying? Annoying the hell out of me. Ain't nobody who word salads. Y'all are y'all are a mess for real. So anyway, I am not gonna have a long show tonight because I am incredibly tired, and I've talked for an hour, y'all. Nobody came on here and talked to me tonight. So I'm fucking tired, and y'all made me talk the whole time, and y'all can almost hear that I'm almost losing my voice, because I have been talking, I feel like, for days, like for legit for days. But I just want to encourage women, the women that are listening, the women that choose to listen for even a minute. Y'all need to please check yourselves. Like, the men ain't just, they're just gonna stop fucking with us. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna be ass out then, for real. So make sure that you're self-evaluating, make sure that you're self-actualizing, make sure that you are always on a forward movement. Determine who you are as a woman and be that woman. If you're overly masculine and you're okay with that, then boo, do you, and get you a man that fits that. But don't go looking for an alpha male that you can tear down and rip apart and say, I need you to be A, D, and J, and I don't need you to be B, C. You see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, again, it is our responsibility to be the women that we need to be to attract the man that we keep saying that we want. And we're not doing that. Okay. We're in these positions where we're running our mouths, and where we're demanding weddings and marriage, and where we're telling ourselves, or they're telling us, to shut the fuck up, sit the fuck down, whatever the fuck they feel like that goes on. I don't encourage those type of relationships. I really don't. But I am encouraging y'all to heal your fucking wounds. Deal with whatever the fuck is making you so bitter and angry and aggressive. If you detox, I don't care what it looks like for you, or what it is, or what book you read, or what course you take. I don't care what, retreat you go on, what religion you find. But baby, please try to find some fucking peace in your life, man. Try to find some peace for yourself, because the one thing, and I say this a lot, that all men want, honestly, is just peace of mind, peaceful environment, a peaceful, quiet environment. You feel me? And at the end of the day, I think we as women want that too. But we seem to really be a lot of the instigation. We're projecting a lot. I mean, we are masculine energy or not, still emotional creatures, which is, I don't know if you guys know anybody that's really masculine, but women that are masculine women, they're still very emotional beings. Now, there's a lot of us, like, I'm super emotional, and at the same time, I can control myself. I know that sounds crazy, and it sounds like I'm contradicting myself, but I do have the ability to suck up shit and do what I need to do because I had to. This one of those things I say I'm trained in doing. But we as women really need to not only hold ourselves accountable for our behavior, but we really need to dig deep, find out what the fuck is making us so bitter and angry. I mean, really bitter and angry. Like, if you have anger coming out anywhere, if you have bitterness coming out anywhere, pettiness, attitude, none of those things are okay. It's just not okay to be in those situations. It's not okay to live your life like that. It's not okay for you, yourself, and you. It's not okay for you not to be in a peaceful environment. It's not okay for you not to carry yourself peacefully. It's not okay. There's a better way to live your life than to just always be in utter chaos and confusion, and to always be mad at somebody, and always be bitching about something, and always be upset, and always be this and always be that. And listen. You want the men to listen to us. You want them. I saw another, I'm not going to go into it, but about men sharing their emotions too much or something. And, I'm just seriously tonight in a peaceful way, because sometimes I can be rowdy. In a peaceful way, I'm really, 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 really asking women to do some shit that they haven't done. And that's take fucking time for themselves to figure out why they're so wounded, where these wounds came from, and find a way to patch them, and at least until you can rectify the behavior that comes with them. Because you are not doing men any justice, and you are not doing yourself any justice at all. This world right now is eating everybody's ass up, period. Nobody's getting any slack. Nobody's getting anything. We are all at each other's throat. Nobody likes each other. Everybody hates each other. Men ain't shit. Women ain't shit. All of these things are, literally happening right now. And the only way for us as women to fix them is to fix us. So I appreciate y'all for coming on. I hate that the show's kind of short. But at the end of the day, in transparency, I am fucking doing the best that I can do. And I'm not failing, but it's definitely rough. I've had a lot of big decisions that had to be made, and a lot of shit that has to be done now that they've been made. So I appreciate y'all for showing up. Still like the show, still subscribe, still share it. You can even go back once it's up, it's up. And I appreciate everybody that came on and that commented, and everybody that's following, and everybody that watches the show later. Big shout out to SavageCom.Entertainment and Jim Savage, because he's just dope as fuck, and I love him. So I appreciate y'all. Have a good night. Oh, do not let me forget, to all my men, especially my black men, I fucking love you. I adore you. I honor you. You are worthy. You are needed. You are important. You are valuable. You are all of those things. And we as women, a lot of us still believe in you. So just have faith and believe in yourselves. Till next time. Bye. All right, everybody, here's the deal. I am on my way over to SavageCom.Entertainment because I fell in love with Kimberly Michael, and I want to follow all of her videos. By the way, she's me. I'm her. So follow me over there, SavageCom.Entertainment. Look me up, In Love with Kimberly Michael, so you can fall in love with me too. Woman, so I'm speaking from a woman's perspective, around screaming that they're healed from their trauma, which is the whole point of the show is women and accountability and women and accountability. I can hold myself accountable.